what are we reviewing today, Sophie?
Today, I'm gonna review the book vs. film review of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
And which particular film version are you using?
I'm using the 2005 film.
That's right, because there's various versions of it, aren't there?
And I'm not going to talk about the animated or the BBC version.
Okay. So let's start by looking at the Pevensies.
The Pevensies. In the book, the Pevensies were sent away because of the war. There's a little bit of information about them in the book. But in the film, there's even more information. In the beginning, in the film, when the family run to the shelter, but then Edmund runs back to get his picture of his father.
That's right, so it tells us it's in the Second World War.
Yes.
I think your mum said that when the book was written in 1950, people would know about the war, whereas when the film was 2005, maybe they wouldn't. So that's the background. What about the individual children?
Individual children. In the film, Peter is like trying so hard to look after the others. It acts like a leader. But in the book, he's not much of a leader in the book.
Right, he hasn't got that set. He doesn't seem as much of a leader. Okay, next.
Next is Susan Pevensey. In the book, she said they should put on their coats because it's cold. But in the film, she's like a real big sister who's worried a lot, and she thinks they should all go home and let Narnia deal with his own problems.
Yes, Susan in the book is more like a joining in with the adventure, just getting a few things to take with them, isn't she?
It's the same thing in the film.
Next, who we got?
What do you think of her in the film?
Susan in the film.
Yes.
In some ways, she seems older and more worried.
Yes. And she only thinks about logic in the film.
Yes, that is a very good point. She just thinks about logic and how things should be.
Yes. Next is Edmund. In the film, we understand why he was always so spiteful, because he misses his father and refuses to his brother.
Yes, that tension is very obvious, isn't it, between Edmund and Peter?
Yes. But in the book, we never explain why he's always so spiteful. He just is.
Yes, it's just that he keeps picking on. Although no, I think in the book his school is mentioned, isn't it? That he's sometimes in trouble for bullying smaller children at school.
Oh yes, he does.
Okay. So that's Edmund. Is there one more child to talk about?
Yes, Lucy Pevensey.
What about Lucy in the film and the book?
In the film, she never get to choose what she wants in the film.
Mm-hmm. Do you mean things like games and that kind of thing?
Yes. But in the book, she like 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 to join with the other.
Yes, she joins in with the others a bit more.
There's a bit more in the book.
Of course, all this changes. So when they get to Narnia, everything changes.
Yes.
Okay. So now let's which one? Which so is the film or the book that has the best Pevenses?
I think the Pepsis are better in the film.
Okay, because you've got that more background.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on now to the big guy.
King Aslan, the
That's-
Great Lion.
Yes, the yes, the big lion, Pompous. Okay.
In the book, he has more of a stronger voice in the book.
Yes, when you listen to the recording, he has a deeper voice, doesn't he?
Yes. But in the film, he tells people what to do, but his voice is not as strong as in the book.
Yes, I see. So, do you prefer which of the Aslans do you prefer?
Aslan is better in the book.
Okay. So, if we've done Aslan,
Yes.
who do we have to do next?
Next, Jadis, the White Witch.
No, go on. Let's see.
In the film, she's very evil. More of a dangerous, powerful villain in the film. Because she was played by Tilda Swinton.
Do you think Tilda Swinton's acting makes a difference in this?
Yes. And but in the book, the White Witch is not a much stronger villain in the book.
Yeah, I think I see what you mean. Especially, she's no. I think in the film you see the images, don't you, of her?
Yes.
And they're very vivid.
Yes. And but she was terrified of Aslan in the book.
Mm-hmm.
She runs away after their first meeting.
Right. Is that slightly different in the film?
It's different to the film.
Right.
The character of the film is really evil.
So, do you think you prefer the one in the film?
I prefer the White Witch from the film.
Moving on to the other characters.
Yes? Next is Mr. Tumnus.
Oh yes, the first person Lucy meets.
I think these two are equal between the book and the film.
We see different things about him in the film, though, don't we?
We did. We saw him in prison with Edmund in the film.
Does he recognise Edmund?
She recognised Edmund, who is Lucy Pevensey's brother.
That's right. But what about the beavers?
The beavers in the book are they're funny in the book.
Mm-hmm.
But in the film, they're very funny.
There's also something you noticed about how Mr. Beaver is with Edmund.
Oh yes, in the film, Mr. Beaver didn't really trust Edmund early on.
You could tell straight away.
Straight away. He's looking at Edmund, looking at the two hills.
Mm. And then, there's another character you wanted to talk about.
But the fox.
Mm-hmm.
In the book, the fox was at the party with the other creatures.
And that was his own. He didn't say much, does he?
No. But in the film, he appears briefly.
Oh, but he does say something, doesn't he?
We did say something in the film.
Mm.
And then, when the White Witch asks where the humans are heading, the fox refused
To tell the White Witch.
tell the White Witch.
Mm-hmm.
But Edmund tells her, but she turns the fox into stone anyway.
That's right. I like that line where he says, "Forgive me, Your Majesty," and then he says to Jadis, "I wasn't talking to you." Yes. Okay. Who are we going on to next?
About the two henchmen.
The two main henchman characters. The first is the little man,
The dwarf
Mm-hmm.
and Morgan the wolf.
Okay, let's start with the dwarf. How did you find the dwarf in the book?
In the book, the dwarf is scared in the book.
Yes.
But in the film, he's more of a gruesome character in the film.
Yes, he's quite sinister, and even after the White Witch is dead, he's.
He tries to kill Edmund, but Susan picked up a bow and arrow and shot him.
So, which of the dwarves do you prefer?
I think the dwarf gruff, tougher in the film.
Right. And then what about Morgrim?
Morgan. I think say the two similar lines in the book and the film.
Mm-hmm. So, are we moving on now?
Yes?
To the adventure?
The adventure. Let's see. In the film, they have more dangerous adventure in the film
Yes.
than the book.
Yes, they're more in danger. You think something might happen to them all the time in the
Yes.
in the film.
For example, the three children and the beavers walking on the ice.
Oh yes, that's scary.
Very scary.
And the wolves, well, it's even more than scary. It's quite dangerous when they walk on the ice because the ice melts, doesn't it? And there's
It
a scene
does.
where Lucy
And
disappears.
also the wolves chase after them.
Yeah, yes, they're very close to them a couple of times, aren't they?
Yes.
There's something else about the animals, more generally in the book. What is it?
In the book, we don't have a sense of how they're talking. You just have to know they are in the book.
Yes.
But in the film, we see them talking with their CGI mouths.
Yes, I can see that. That technology has helped it a lot. So overall, which is the best?
Oh, and don't forget the battle scene.
Oh, of course, the battle scene. We've not mentioned that. You're quite right. Go on, tell me which one you think is better.
in the book, we don't get to see the battle until they arrive
Yes.
in the book. But in the film, they start a battle.
I think it needed that. I think it is a spectacular scene. That's very impressive.
It is.
And it's worth seeing it on a big screen in the cinema.
And in the film, when Peter or Evan to get out of here,
Yes.
and get the girls, you'll get them home.
Yes.
But when Edmund saw the wand where the White Witch is holding, Mr. Beaver said, Peter, get out of here. But Edmund said, Pete's not king yet.
That's right. Yes, there's that. That battle scene is much more impressive in the film.
Yes.
So I think I know what you will say to this. And how would you compare the two? Which do you prefer?
I think the film is better than the book. Because there's more very dangerous adventures
Yes.
and more dramatic.